Story 32: The Woodcutter and the Axe. In a small village on the edge of a dense forest, there lived a woodcutter named Sam. He was known throughout the village as an honest and hard-working man. Every day, he would venture into the forest with his trusty axe to chop wood, which he would then sell in the village market to provide for his family. One sunny morning, as Sam was walking to his favorite chopping spot in the forest, he noticed something glimmering at the base of a mighty oak tree. He bent down to get a closer look and discovered a shiny, silver axe. It was the most beautiful axe Sam had ever seen, with a handle made of polished wood and a blade that sparkled in the sunlight. Sam picked up the axe and examined it closely. He couldn't believe his luck. He had been using his old, worn-out axe for years, and this new one was a vast improvement. However, he had a strong sense of honesty, and he knew that the axe didn't belong to him. Sam thought about what to do. He decided to leave his old, rusty axe at the base of the oak tree and take the silver one with him. He reasoned that the owner of the silver axe might come back for it and find his old one in its place. That evening, as Sam was returning home with his newfound treasure, he met another woodcutter in the forest. The man seemed distraught and was searching for something. Sam asked him what he was looking for. The woodcutter replied, "I've lost my silver axe. It was a gift from my father, and I can't bear to lose it." Sam felt a pang of guilt, but decided to be truthful. He said, "I found a silver axe today, but I left it by the oak tree where I found it. I didn't take it because it wasn't mine." The woodcutter's face lit up with gratitude, and he hurried to the oak tree. There, he found his silver axe exactly where Sam had left it. He thanked Sam profusely and offered to share some of his wood with him as a token of appreciation. Sam smiled and declined the offer. He was content with his old axe, knowing he had done the right thing. As he walked back home, he felt a warm sense of satisfaction and the knowledge that his honesty had earned him the respect of his fellow villagers. From that day on, Sam's old axe served him faithfully, and he continued to be known as the most honest and respected woodcutter in the village. His story of integrity and honesty spread far and wide, reminding everyone that doing the right thing is always more valuable than any treasure. The end. Story 33: The Lazy Man and the God's Plan. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a man named Mark. Mark was known throughout the village for his laziness. He was always looking for shortcuts and ways to avoid hard work. He would often sit under a tree, dozing off or daydreaming, while others toiled in the fields or carried out their daily tasks. One day, as Mark was lounging under his favorite tree, a wise old man from the village approached him. This wise man was known for his deep understanding of life and the ways of the world. The wise man said to Mark, "My dear friend, I have observed your laziness for a long time now. You waste your days idly, and your potential remains untapped. I have a piece of advice for you: start working diligently and contribute to the well-being of the village. In doing so, you will find purpose and contentment in your life." Mark, however, scoffed at the wise man's words. He replied, "Why should I work hard when I can simply rely on fate or luck to provide for me? I have heard that there is a grand plan for each of us, orchestrated by the gods themselves. If it is in the gods' plan for me to be rich and successful, it will happen regardless of my efforts." The wise man smiled at Mark's response. He decided to teach him a valuable lesson about the importance of personal responsibility. The wise man said, "Very well, Mark. If you truly believe that the gods have a plan for you, then I have a challenge for you. I will give you a small, seemingly impossible task. If you can complete it without any effort on your part, I will believe that you are truly living according to the God's plan." Intrigued by the challenge, Mark agreed. The wise man handed him a large, empty basket and said, "Mark, your task is to fill this basket with water from the river, but you must do it without using your own hands or any tools. If the gods have indeed planned for you to succeed effortlessly, the basket will fill itself." Mark, feeling confident in his belief, took the basket to the riverbank. He held it over the flowing water, waiting for the gods to intervene and fill it for him. Minutes turned into hours, but the basket remained empty, and not a drop of water filled it. Exhausted and frustrated, Mark returned to the wise man with the empty basket. He admitted defeat and said, "I see now that I cannot rely solely on the God's plan. I must take action and work hard to achieve my goals." The wise man nodded in approval and said, "Mark, you have learned a valuable lesson today. While there may be a greater plan for our lives, it is also our responsibility to make the most of the opportunities presented to us. Laziness and inaction will never lead to success or happiness." From that day forward, Mark changed his ways. He began to work diligently, contributing to the betterment of the village and finding fulfillment in his efforts. He realized that while there may be a divine plan, it is our actions and determination that shape our destiny. Mark's transformation served as an inspiration to others in the village, reminding them that taking control of their lives and working hard was the true path to success and contentment. The end. Story 34: The Reflection of Your Actions. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled beside a tranquil lake, there lived a man named Ethan. Ethan was known for his kind heart and good deeds. He believed in the principle that one's actions always had consequences, and he strived to make the world a better place through his daily acts of kindness. One crisp morning, Ethan was walking by the lake when he saw a group of children playing near the water's edge. They were having a great time, but one little girl seemed troubled. Her face was filled with sadness, and she was crying softly. Ethan approached the girl and knelt down beside her. He asked, "What's wrong, my dear? Why are you crying?" The little girl wiped away her tears and replied, "I dropped my favorite toy, a shiny silver ball, into the lake. It was a gift from my grandmother, and now it's gone forever." Ethan felt a pang of sympathy for the girl. He reassured her and said, "Don't worry. I will try to retrieve your ball from the lake." The other children watched in amazement as Ethan waded into the cool water. He carefully searched the lake's bottom, reaching down with his hands. After a few minutes, he emerged from the water, holding the precious silver ball in his hand. The little girl's face lit up with joy, and she thanked Ethan with a big hug. Ethan's kind act did not go unnoticed by the villagers. They were inspired by his selflessness and willingness to help others. Word of his good deed spread throughout the village, and soon, people from near and far came to seek his advice and assistance. Ethan never turned anyone away. He helped the elderly with their chores, tutored children in their studies, and even tended to the sick. His reputation as a compassionate and caring individual grew, and he became a beloved figure in the village. One day, a wise old woman approached Ethan and said, "You have done so much good in our village, Ethan, and your actions have touched the lives of many. But have you ever wondered why you have been blessed with such good fortune and the admiration of the community?" Ethan thought for a moment and replied, "I believe it's because I try to do what is right and help others to the best of my ability." The wise old woman nodded and said, "Indeed, Ethan. Your actions have created a reflection of kindness and goodness in the world around you. When you extend a helping hand, it inspires others to do the same. Your good deeds have a ripple effect, spreading positivity and warmth throughout our village." Ethan understood the wisdom in her words. He realized that the reflection of his actions didn't just benefit him alone, it enriched the lives of everyone around him. He continued to live a life of kindness, setting an example for others to follow. And so, the village by the tranquil lake remained a place where good deeds and compassion thrived, all thanks to the simple belief that the reflection of one's actions could make the world a better and brighter place for everyone. The end.